2021年4月28日，哥倫比亞因為稅制改革爆發近年嚟最大型嘅反政府示威，至今已經1個月。示威一開始，政府就採取武力鎮壓，短短數日已經造成至少近1000名人被消失，數百人嚴重受傷，同埋數十人死亡。示威由當地第3大城市卡利開始爆發，亦都係最激烈嘅一個城市。哥倫比亞政府喺示威嘅第4日就已經撤回稅制改革，但係上街嘅人民依然冇停止落嚟，反而仲越嚟越多。
The thing is, that's the thing. A lot of the information that is going out of Colombia is that the protest is about the tax reform, which is true because that is kind of what blew up the manifestations, but that is not the only reason why people are protesting here in Colombia. People are protesting because they are fed up with the government's corruption, which is just so obvious and so, like, they don't even make an effort to hide what they're doing. They say that they are doing this tax reform because the government doesn't have enough money to make up for all of the losses that we've had because of the pandemic. But we know for a fact that a lot of the money that was supposed to go into the resources to help people come out of this pandemic has actually been stolen by the government. And also, the president has made some extravagant he has bought some extravagant things that are absolutely not necessary right now. So, for example, he bought these war airplanes that costed, I believe, like 14 billion pesos or something like that. It's a lot of money, and I mean, we're not at war right now. This is something that is going on since 2019. In November, 21st of November, 2019 was the first really big protest against the government, and they went on for a while as well, more than a week, and then in January they restarted again. But then, of course, the pandemic came, and it's like everybody had to calm down, and it was just paused. About 21 million of Colombians live in poverty and have no kind of assurance of how they're going to make it out of this situation. The manifestations and the protests are still going on because even though the president has taken back the tax reform, there are other reforms like a health reform that is going on in Congress right now, which is also going to be really harmful for people that are not in a very stable situation. It's going to privatize a lot more the health system, and it's what they've said is that they've compared it a lot to the health system in the US, where you have to pay a lot of insurance to get a good service. And they're also going to cancel a cancer center, which is a public cancer center, which takes care of a lot of people here in the country, and they're going to make it private. And it's going to go to one of the richest men here in Colombia, which is Mr. Angulo. Of our social leaders being murdered in the last few years, 53% of social leaders murdered in the world have been murdered here in Colombia. So that is more than half of the whole world. That is a very, very scary number. Also, the reason why people are not stopping is precisely because of the huge violent retaliation that we've received back from the government. Like, people just don't want to be governed by this government anymore because it's clearly becoming a dictatorship. I mean, it is not okay to send police to kill people that are protesting in the streets. So people are just not going to be like, oh, okay, He took away the tax reform, so let's go home, when there's actually people who have been killed. Most protesters, they're asking for the complete retirement of President Ivan Duque. They don't want his government anymore, even if he took away the tax reform.
下一集我哋會探討哥倫比亞警黑合作嘅問題，卡利又點樣日日上演真槍版721？